Hey there, Aries. Welcome to your reading for the week of April 18th. I forgot. We're going to jump right in here, Aries, and we are just going to see what is going on for you at this time. And that'll be that. There's going to be a part 2 to this reading, and it will be linked up in the description down below. So make sure to check out part 2. But Aries, let's see what we have going on for you at this time. It looks like a good reading, just in general. So I do like to see that. You start off with this Let Your Personality Shine card. This card says you have something no one else has that makes you who you are. What have I been talking to you about for 6 months? Probably exactly that. Stop comparing yourself to others and allow your uniqueness to shine. That would be the Queen of Wands. You have the Queen of Wands as your first card. I'm going to cover this in just a second, but she represents uniqueness and being unique, and I'll tell you why in just a second. But, I feel like there is something that makes you special, which I've been talking to you about for a long time in your readings. And you have the world. It's something that you have to put out into the world. It's something like a talent, gift, skill, or ability. You have the Queen of Wands, the Hierophant, and the Death card. A lot of you again, I don't like to spend a lot of time on these divorce things or love things because if you're going through it, you obviously already know that you're going through it. But some of you could be going through a divorce here. Death, Hierophant, definitely could be an ending. This looks like new love, Page of Pentacles, so some of you could be more focused on new love in the future. Queen of Wands, she represents uniqueness because of this little cat right here. That cat is a black cat, of course, and the black cats in the tarot, they represent kind of being unlucky, but she doesn't care. The whole point is during the time of tarot, black cats, during that time when tarot was created, black cats were extremely unlucky, but she doesn't care what anyone thinks. She just likes the black cat. It's just that simple. And I feel like for a long time, I've been telling you that your challenge is what other people think, maybe, or maybe you feel like there are certain responsibilities that you have to take care of in your life that are preventing you from kind of living the life that you really want to live. But I feel like you're starting to move towards the life that you really want to live, is what I would say here. You have the Hierophant. Again, I kind of feel like this is a blockage. Hierophant is like traditions. And again, I always get that feeling for you, Aries, in all of your readings, that there could be some sort of belief or tradition that you feel like is holding you back or is preventing you from progressing in life or moving forward or any of those things. So I feel like there is kind of like a little bit of a, I wouldn't really call it a roadblock necessarily, but I do feel like there's something that you've been thinking of or something in your life that maybe makes you feel like you can't move forward. And again, it could be like some sort of traditional belief. I definitely feel like there's like a little bit of a wobbly time here is what I would say. It's like sometimes I think when we're going through a transition, like maybe we have a job, maybe we want to start a business or something. It's like maybe the job doesn't really pay you enough to be able to start the business. So it's kind of like having a juggle, and you have the Two of Pentacles next. And so it's like I get this juggly, jiggly energy going on here in your reading where I feel it's like there's kind of like this time where you're really having to maybe balance your energies. It's like maybe if you're trying to, again, leave a job and start a business, it's kind of like you're working on both things at once, and it's a little bit tricky. I don't think this is a bad thing, though. I think this is kind of a good thing. I think it's teaching you how to be resourceful and how to be resourceful with your time. You also have the Death card here. Again, there is a guy, he looks kind of like a pope right here. He kind of looks like the Hierophant, and he's begging for his life in front of that Death Rider. But again, I feel with the Hierophant that some of you are kind of like letting go of a traditional belief that has been holding you back for a long time. And it might not be a traditional belief. It might just be like, some sort of belief like, sometimes I think we have certain beliefs where we feel like we have to be responsible to a job. I used to work at a cafe. I always tell a story. It's like I stayed there way too long. I should have quit like years before I did, right? And there was nothing wrong with the job. There was not, but it was time to leave. And sometimes I think we have these this false sense of responsibility where we're like, if I leave, the people that I work with are going to be sad, my boss will be sad or whatever. And I kind of get that feeling here. This is why I'm saying it, is it's like there could be something that you want to leave, but it's like I feel like maybe if you're trying to protect someone's feelings or anything like that, it's saying it's like it's time to leave. Next, you have this Buffalo Spirit. This card in this deck, this is the Tarot of the Wild Unknown Animal Oracle. This card in this deck always reminds me of the Tower. There's like a lightning over here. So I do feel that for some of you. I don't really feel like it's the tower moment. I feel like it's more of, again, making a transition here. The buffalo in this deck and also the other animal decks, the buffalo is meant to represent like abundance as well. So I feel like some sort of tower moment could actually lead to a lot of abundance in your life. You have the Two of Pentacles, the Hangman, and the Five of Swords. I really feel like this is saying, what are you waiting for? Definitely time for you to take a risk. The Five of Swords, to me, can represent winning at all costs. It can represent a separation as well, or kind of loss, grief sometimes as well. But to me, it's a card of taking a risk and needing to take a risk towards something new. So I feel for a lot of you that there could be a risk that you're thinking about taking. You've probably been planning on taking a risk for a long time with the Hangman. And, the Hangman says, okay, you are now enlightened to what you need to do. So it is time for you to take a risk. It is time for you to, get off the pole, as I love saying with the Hangman here. And it's time for you to get out into the world. Right next to it, you have the World right next to the Hangman. It's like literally saying, get out into the world. The Two of Pentacles is juggling. Again, I definitely get a major juggling energy in this reading where, it's like you're juggling two things. But what I feel like you're juggling is it's like you're juggling something that you don't want with something with the life that you really want to live. It kind of reminds me of eating Lucky Charms, right? It's like everybody just wants the marshmallows, nobody wants the cereal. And that's what I feel like is going on here in your reading. It's like right now I feel like there aren't very many marshmallows in your life, and I feel like you see something else that is a bowl full of Lucky Charms marshmallows. Much better. And I know that's a ridiculous example, but I feel like that's what you're moving towards here, Aries. Pretty simple reading. Next, you have this Carriage card. It says a journey, either physical or mental. And you have this Purse card. It says pay attention to your finances. I would definitely say, I don't think this is anything to worry about. I would just pay attention to your finances. This is a weird year. I've been getting a lot of cards of that would say no get rich quick schemes, things like that, because I think get rich quick schemes are a very bad idea right now in general. I think they're a bad idea in general, but I think right now anything that claims that it's going to make you a bunch of money overnight, probably not. So I would be careful of that, anything like that with that card. I don't really feel bad about it. I feel like you just need to pay attention. You have the Ace of Cups, the World, and the Page of Pentacles. The Ace of Cups is your emotions moving forward, and it's also a lot of happiness. There's this W right here. The bird, it kind of looks like a W as well, as you can see here. It does represent the West, and in the tarot, the W here, the sun sets in the West. And so it can kind of represent going through that a rebirth type of energy, because the sun sets, then the sun rises. It's a whole symbolism of the rebirth, right? So there's clearly some sort of that's not what the Ace of Cups represents, by the way. Well, it kind of does because of the W, but that's what's popping into my head. I feel like some of you are going through rebirth. I also feel like some of you could be going through, could be traveling west of wherever you are right now. You have that travel card. You also have the World card right here. So the World kind of represents success. It also represents could represent going on a journey. So I do feel like some of you are going on a journey. The other interesting thing is that her legs are exactly like the Hangman. So if you look at their legs, they're in exactly the same position if we put the Hangman in reverse. What does this mean? What it represents is the fact that she has made all the sacrifices she needs to make in her life. She represents a truly integrated being, as I always say. Some readers read her as being intersex because she's a combination of all energies that exist, period. She is a sorceress, right? And she has the power to not only create things with her words, but also to create things with her actions as well. She can do both things. She has kind of like a wand like the magician. The other wand is kind of like more of an action wand, a wand of taking action, doing things, moving forward. So I feel like you really need to kind of move towards a goal, wish, or dream here with this World card, because I feel like it's saying there is a lot of success coming in for you. But I feel like you have to take action on things to kind of make it happen. I also feel like something is kind of like there's a cycle that is coming to a close here. I feel like it's kind of popping into my head in a weird way. Again, it's popping into my head as another person. If you're in a situationship here with this reading, if you're dealing with a person and you have a repetitive cycle with this person, feels like emotions to me, but that could be because of the Ace of Cups. And what I mean by that is it's like maybe this person uses emotions to control the situation, or they always have an emotional issue that draws you back in and then kind of spits you out. I get that feeling here. Then I feel like this cycle is coming to an end. I feel like it's starting to drive you crazy in the first place. So I already feel like you're drifting away. I feel like you are the one that's drifting away. It's not them. Because again, I feel like this is maybe a person who has an emotional addiction. I always tell people to be careful of that, especially with this energy. You're ready for greener pastures. I feel like you're ready for something much better in your life. And I also feel like you see a life that you really want to live. Like I said in the first row, it's like, again, I feel like there is a life that you truly want to live. It's like not, and maybe it's not the life that you have been living. It's going to require work, of course, to get going. And again, I don't think this is something that's going to happen overnight. Of course not. But I feel like you are building up towards something that's much more, fulfilling. Ace of Cups is a card of fulfillment. Ace of Cups fulfills itself. That's the beauty of the Ace of Cups, is that the water is, it's like a self-feeding, water thing. It's like a fountain here, Aries. So it's like, the water can feed itself here into the cup. So I feel like this is what you're moving towards, where it's like you're moving more towards a life where you can put energy into things and you get energy back, or at least it fulfills you in some way. And I really feel this reading, again, I don't think it's talking about one thing or the other. I think it's talking about everything in your life, because you are definitely one of the signs, clearly, that I feel like is going through major life changes, significant ones. But it's like, again, you're just building a life that is more worth it. All those words are popping into my head, Aries. That's just what I'm getting here. But I do feel like again, if I were you, I would say the thing, some of the old beliefs are the things that need to be let go of with the Death card and the Hierophant. I feel like if there are any beliefs that you've been believing for a long time, just questioning things would probably be enough with this energy. So I love this. Part 2 is linked up down below.